Yo, what's up? I am doing an unpacking video of my bikepacking setup. I'll go through the bike, the components and everything that's on it. Starting off, the bike weighs 27.9 kilos. That is with water. And so I've got about 1.5 litres of water. 2 bottles here and then 1 in the feed bag. Obviously, helmet, and I've got some sunnies from Amazon. These can be switched out. I've got multiple different lenses. On me, I was carrying a Salomon Advanced 12 trail running jacket. On the right hand side, in here, in this pocket, I would keep actually my headphones and my phone. And then on this side over here, I've got Garmin InReach Mini 3, the new one, antihistamine tablets, and some coins. Usually on this side I would keep a windbreaker, but then on the back side here I keep a reusable bag. This is the Oxygen Program tote bag from Suma. I've got a bunch of reusable, changeable lenses from my sunnies. And then I kept a dry bag in there with all my important stuff. Kobo e-reader, sleep mask, Petzl active night core headlamp with a Noctilite case, Signet 10,000 milliamp power bank, which I use to charge my Garmin Fenix 6S, my watch that I use. 65 watt power charger from Signet. It has 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C ports. Ray-Ban sunnies with a pair of glasses, string, wallet, 2 sets of earplugs. Actually, make that 3. I've also got loop earplugs as well. A set of eye drops, and night core, 10,000 milliamp battery. A pen and a Sharpie in here, USB-A to micro USB cable. And just a USB-C to female USB-A adapter. Usually on my power bank I'll have a USB-C to C so I can charge my phone. I use a Google Pixel 6a, take photos on that, on the Google Pixel 6a, and I also take it on my camera, which I'm using right now, which is a Sony a6300. I'm using a Sigma, 18 to 50 f2.8 lens, and I carry that and I strap it around me. Alright, that's what I carry on me. I was using clipless pedals, so I just have a pair of Shimano, I don't know what these are. I've been using them for multiple years. So pedals are half and half, so we've got flats on one side, clipless on the other. I've upgraded my cassette. It's a 11 to 40, so 11 speed. And then I think this is 46 to 30 on the front. I originally had 11 to 34, which I used in Europe. I've upgraded to 11 to 40, and it's been great. I only had to add 1 extra chain link. The bike itself, it is a Norco Search XR A1. It is the 2023 version. It is a great frame. I absolutely love it. I happened to upgrade just before I started this trip. I'm running Victoria Mezcal's mountain bike tires. I managed to fit 2.1 inch on the front and on the rear, and I'm running them tubeless as well. First time I'm running tubeless, and it's been great. For the recent trip in Tassie, 13 days of riding, didn't have a single puncture. My saddle, I'm running a Celitalia Boost SLR S3. It is not a touring saddle, so it is not a Brook saddle, but I happen to do a bunch of road riding as well, and I just wanted to be able to get my ass used to it. Alright, so let's start unpacking. So I've got 2 water bottles from Sumoom. I run 2 feed bags at the front. One of them usually has another bottle of water. Got a Morton drink bottle. Right here I've got my lock. This is a combination lock from Abus, the U-Grip Bordeaux 5700C. I use this because I don't like faffing around with keys, in case I lose keys, and it's just quick and easy to access, especially when it's just on my top tube. Start from the back, I'm running a Tumbleweed T-Rack. It's got 2 bottle cages on it at the moment. I like it because it's lightweight. quick and easy to set up. On it, I've got strapped to it a GoPro 10 litre dry bag and my Chaco sandals and my 10 litre dry bag. In here on the back, I keep all my clothes. So I'm just gonna dump them as I go because they all need to be washed. Got a pair of shorts. To be honest, I probably brought a bit too much for this trip. I thought we would be doing a bit more hiking. Turns out we didn't. It was just mainly cycling, and that's fine. 2 pair of shorts. I've got 2 pairs of bibs in here. The one I use mainly the most, thanks to Sumum, is these cargo bibs. They've got a bunch of pockets on the side, but they use their premium chamois, and this thing, I mean, for riding for how many hours a day, it was absolutely sublime. I ended up just using that pretty much most of the days and rewashing it. I've got a sun hoodie. This is Follow the Sun sun hoodie. I've always wanted a sun hoodie. Got one from Wild Earth, and I pretty much use this most days as well. Just when you're bike packing, you get some funny looks when you're cycling, wearing cycling attire and lycra all the time. So just like a loose fitting top is always helpful. Plus, because it's a sun hoodie, it's UPF something. It means I just don't have to put on as much sunscreen. I've got a singlet which I sleep in. What is this? I had another long sleeve. So I also had this. So I had a pair of pants, a cotton shirt. I also had a Sumum long sleeve, which I had with me as well. A Decathlon, my puffer. I've got the Frog Togs ultralight jacket. Fits me a bit oversized, so it sort of works, especially because we got caught out in the rain, and I tend to put my trail running backpack on, and then I put the rain jacket on top. So I protect all my electronics, especially during the wet. I bought a stubby holder. I have 2 pairs of socks that I rotated between. One was Features, that's another pair from Sumum. I've got a Duck and Bay full-size towel, my Wild Earth buff. This is the windbreaker from Sumum that I also use. It's typically in my trail running jacket as well, just so I pull it out when it was a bit windy. Pair of undies, other cycling bibs from Sumum. Yeah, the O2 oxygen program. I got a pair of arm sleeves when I was wearing a cycling jacket. This is a Sumum vest, a cycling vest. What are they called? Gilet. And I also I got one of their all-around jerseys, the Sumum jerseys. I love these. They feel so premium. One in maroon and the other one here in this. And then I have a pair of leg warmers. I think leg warmers are great, especially when you're rocking bibs, and you know, they're really versatile. You can sleep in them if you get really cold, but then also in the mornings, and just easy to take off. Leg warmers. Then inside here, I think I put in another one, but I also keep a spare dry bag. This is a scrubber wash bag. I use it with the Cedar Summit Wilderness Wash to be able to do laundry. Inside it's a dry bag, but it has like all these ribs, and so usually I wash clothes along the way, or I just do it in the shower. That's my clothes setup. I'll go to my sleep system now. In here I keep my tent, poles, stakes and stuff, and then up here I've got the rest of my sleep system, so pillows, sleeping bag, sleeping mat, and the outer. This is a custom frame bag which I got made by Hungry. So that's the outside of the tent, the inner of the tent just in a dry bag, stakes and poles, and I also have a set of bits and bobs. So I think I got a pair of quick links. I've got a pad spreader for when fly the bike, a few cable ties, some spare bolts, puncture repair kit, a bit of grease as well. The full list of everything I'll write and I'll chuck on my website. So that's the frame bag. To the front. So because my bike is a size 52, I had to be a bit more conscious about where I put things. I'm limited with space in comparison. This is another GoPro 10 litre tri bag, which I have. On the front rack, I use a Jack the Bike rack. Used it, 3 years now. It's been great. The outside of my tent, I'm running a $4.50 Kmart pillow. I probably should upgrade, but it does the job and I've gotten used to it. I am running a quilt setup, so I use a quilt. This is the Neve Gear Waratah. I think it's -2. I'm a big convert. I love quilts now. I prefer it over a sleeping bag. Particularly for me, I don't like having my feet locked in. So having that breathe at night. Throughout this trip, I think we had temperatures between mid-20s to sort of low single digits, and just being able to regulate, close it up a bit more, and zip it up, I find that really helpful. Sleeping mat, I run a Cedar Summit ultralight insulated, regular size. Inside here, I've also got one of the old generation flex tail pumps. Just makes it's one of those luxury items that I like to have and I like to bring. That is the sleep setup. Onto my feed bags. I run 2 feed bags. These are both from AliExpress. Can't remember, there's certain things I'll pay top dollar for, and then other things that I know that I probably just tend to be a bit more affordable. On the right side, I keep a carabiner with some cycling gloves. And then in here, I actually have some emergency gels. On the back here, I've got 2 tire levers, and even though I'm running tubeless, I have a spare tube in case as well. On the left-hand feed bag, I have snacks. What do I have left? I've got a bar left over. I've got roll-on sunscreen. I find this super helpful, especially when you're riding, just being able to apply it whilst you're on the move. It's quick. Around it, I have a bunch of duct tape, gaffer tape, and then one of the other best things, hand sanitizer. I'll talk about the benefits of that when I get to toiletries. And then on the back, some chain lube, and then I've got a packet of electrolyte tablets. So those are the feed bags. They're empty now. Top tube bag. Here I usually keep tools and spare bits and things. So I have Gerber suspension multi-tool Swiss Army knife. I have my multi-tool, which is a Crank Brothers, and I wrap it in a pair of gloves, especially when you're having to fix things. It just saves your hands from getting dirty. A bunch of spare straps, jack straps, another spare ski strap as well. They come in handy when I have to attach other things to the front. So for instance, the last trip, Danny, he had some issues with his rear wheel, broke some spokes, and so he had too much rear weight on it. So I took one of his panniers and I put it on the front, and I put my dry bag and I strapped it to the back as well. I've got some tire boots, spare plastic bag, and then my pump, which Toe Peak, and I've wrapped it in some electrical tape as well. Top tube bag is done. On the front, I run 2 cargo cages, both from AliExpress. The capacity, I think, both these bags are 3 litres each, and I just use some ski straps. So on the right side, I keep my toiletries. I've got in this bag my toothbrush, which I've cut in half, 2 pairs of nail clippers, some toothpaste, tweezers, and some tick pullers as well. It's a Matador soap bar case. You pretty much put in a wet bar of soap and then it dries. I think it's awesome. So I use that. A pair of sports tape. I broke off the handle from an old spade, and some toilet paper. And then here, probably the other 2 more important things. Hygiene's sake, to be able to cycle multi-days, I've now learnt a few tricks. Spray on hand sanitizer. If you can't wash bibs, being able to just spray hand sani on the inside of your chamois for the bibs, and then at night have a pretty good hygiene routine of cleaning up underside. And then I use pseudo cream, which is antiseptic healing cream for the skin to prevent from saddle sores. And then in the mornings before I start riding, I use Squirrel's Nut Butter, their anti-chafe cream. Yeah, to be able to cycle 12, 13 days pretty much straight, not have any issues, especially running a road saddle, genuinely surprised. And then the rest in here is, I've got a pretty full-on first aid kit. Brought a snake bandage because we're in Australia, there's always snakes. And then in here is the rest of my first aid kit. So I've got a bunch of medications, some betadine, bandages, a whole bunch of stuff, which I'll list on my website. The last bag here, this is the cooking kit. It's pretty minimal for me. I sometimes fit in a few cans of tuna and some other spare emergency meals and things. Here's the wilderness wash. It's usually with my clothes, but it was in here. I have a water filter, a Cataden B-free water filter. This is actually probably usually in my trail running backpack, just so it's easy. Use it traveling, use it overseas, use it on this trip. Just being able to have peace of mind for drinking clean water is always helpful. Deck of playing cards, which I bought in Portugal. I have a pair of wet wipes, not only for cleaning yourself, but to clean your drivetrain. I find it really fast and good to be able to clean the chain, keep it clean. That's a tray bag. And then cooking kit wise, a silicone mug, just use it for drinking. And then inside here, Boundless Voyage 750ml titanium cup. And then inside is usually my gas canister, a small one. And then I wrap it in paper towel just so it doesn't scratch it. And then I've also got my stove. I bought this in Nepal. This is a Nepal special and it all fits in really tidy inside here. Oh, on the back side of my frame bag, I keep my spork. It's an Old Time Goods titanium spork. Oh yeah, probably the bike. I run a set of aero bars. These are zip aero bars. I find them super comfy and I probably spend most of my time in it. This trip we were doing gravel rides, so wasn't in it as much, but it just gives you the option for different hand positions. I've got a phone mount here. This is my bodge of a ski mount pole for an old GoPro, and then I've attached a Manfrotto phone pad onto that. And then in between the ski poles, I have a PVC pipe, which I've cut and measured and then added onto it. So I've got some nog lights, some USB rechargeable. It's also on the back, and a nog. I can't remember whatever it is. That is the bike and it's set up. All in all, bike with water and food. Yeah, as I said, it was 27.9 kilos. I just weighed it. This frame has taken me across Europe, which I did 4 months, including this trip and all the other riding. I just checked. Frame itself has done just under 8,300 kilometers. And I think some of the components, like my front chain ring, bars, which are bent somewhere. Mainly everything was stripped from my old frame and put onto this when I broke it in Europe, but they've done about 16,000 kilometers so far. I like this setup purely because I try and weigh and put things evenly across the bike. I don't like having a rear heavy bike knowing that I sit on it and I don't want to wear out the rear tire a lot more. On this trip was really interesting because George, he was running a pretty similar setup. He had the tumbleweed pannier rack. He was running a 20-litre dry bag on the back with bottle cages, and then he was running a handlebar bag, a full frame bag with a bladder, quick release fork packs. Danny, on the other hand, he was running a rear rack with 2 Ortlieb panniers, his sleeping system strapped to the back. All of us had aero bars on it. Danny had some bottles inside the frame and then also on the down tube, and then he had some bottles on his fork as well. He, unfortunately, I think just from the terrain and the route that we did, it wore out his back tire a lot more. He broke 3 spokes. He had some issues, so that sort of changed our plans. But for me in particular, this setup, it's pretty much similar to what I used for Europe. Didn't have any issues on this trip. It's that nice balance between weight, distribution, and what I've carried. Particularly some upgrades I might make next. If I'm doing a longer tour, which I have some things in mind, bring some bigger bottles, just so I have larger water carrying capacity. Might even change these from bottles to cargo cages. Either similar to this, running ski straps, or something quick release, just so I can have extra space for food. But otherwise, yeah, it works perfectly for me. I've sort of tuned it over I don't know how many trips now. Any questions, let me know. Comment down below, shoot me a message, chuck us a follow. Yeah, awesome. Thanks. It's me, it's Nige. Thanks to Wild Earth, thanks to Sumum for sending out some gear. They've been really awesome to support the adventures, and hopefully have some more lined up for you. Alright, peace.